Hey guys, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed overview of the Ford Racing SVT front brake upgrade available for your 2005 to 2014 V6 and GT Mustang. All right guys, this overview is going to cover a few basic topics. What you can expect as far as components with this kit, what you can expect as far as benefits or performance, and then finally a quick little walkthrough through the install. Now guys, obviously you are going to be replacing both your calipers, your rotors, and even some brake lines here, in addition to bleeding the brakes. So I'm going to give this one a strong 2 out of 3 wrenches on my overall scale of difficulty, with a little bit more detail coming up later on. All right guys, this kit is going to be for the S197 V6 and GT owners out there looking to upgrade your factory base brakes with a nice big brake kit here from a trusted name like Ford Racing and Brembo, and one that's ultimately going to be one of the most affordable here on the site. Now obviously guys, this is something should appeal to just about anyone, right? Whether you're a hardcore track guy or even just a casual weekend enthusiast, because braking is something you really never want to skimp on or overlook. Now this is the exact same setup you're going to find on the 2007 to 2009 Shelby GT500, and is very similar to the one used on the 2011 and up Brembo cars. Now Ford has basically taken all of the guesswork out of assembling a brake kit for you, and has even thrown in some extras. They're giving you a 100% bolt-on complete kit that again is just going to give you everything you need to get up and running. So with that said, let's break down some of the individual components of this kit. Now, even though this is technically a Ford Racing deal here, I think the centerpiece of the kit without a doubt are the large 4-piston aluminum calipers here from Brembo. Again, the same exact kit or Brembos used to haul down those early Shelbys from speed, and I'd say they do so pretty effectively. Now, when shopping for aftermarket big brake kits for your S197, I'd say a majority are going to include some kind of 4-piston calipers for the front. However, if you do have the money to burn, there are 6-piston options available out there, but obviously those are going to cost you a lot more. Nevertheless, the 4-piston options here from Brembo that are included with this kit are going to be a very solid performer, and are probably more than enough for a majority of owners out there, no matter what you really subject your ride to. And that's really no surprise, because Brembo has been making braking components for over 4 decades now. They're obviously going to be one of the leaders in the world of aftermarket and even factory braking, supplying brake components to F1 cars, Mustangs, and everything in between really. So you know these things are going to be built to perform, and they're going to be built very well. And besides providing plenty of stopping power, these calipers are going to look pretty sharp behind your favorite set of wheels, thanks to the anodized black finish that will keep these things looking good for years to come. And between you and me, this is what Ford should have done on the 11 to 14 Brembo cars, instead of using that ugly matte gray finish, but I digress. Now those 4-piston Brembos are going to be riding on the rather large 14-inch one-piece vented rotors. Again, another part found on the factory 2007 to 2009 Shelby GT500s. Now these things are going to provide a lot more surface area, equaling better stopping power and better heat dissipation, which is really what you want, because again guys, 75% of your braking duties on your Mustang are handled by the front brakes alone. So when you're making this kind of upgrade or this kind of improvement, the difference should be pretty noticeable right away. And that's what a lot of our customers have pointed out in the customer review section. And this is really important as well for you track guys, because again, if you have the factory base brakes still on the car, you probably notice a whole bunch of fade in stock form. These brakes here from Brembo and Ford Racing should greatly reduce some of that fade and ultimately provide a more consistent pedal feel lap after lap. Wrapping up the front setup here guys, these Brembos will come preloaded with brand new Motorcraft pads. Again, the same pad used on the Shelby GT500. I'm guessing some of you are sensing a trend here, but ultimately that is nice. Again, they're preloaded, ready to rock and roll for you. And Ford Racing also throws in brand new dust shields and brand new hardware. Again, a nice touch, and should help eliminate any unexpected trips to the local hardware or auto parts store. But let's quickly shift gears and talk about some of the extras included with this kit, because again, this is a 100% complete kit from Ford Racing, but they do toss in some extras to kind of sweeten the deal a little bit for prospective buyers out there. First on the plate, they've included brand new Goodrich stainless steel lines for both the front and rear, which is awesome, and a huge upgrade over those rubber factory lines. Now these are going to provide a firmer pedal, maybe a little bit more consistent of a brake pedal as well, and at the end of the day guys, they're going to be far more durable than those rubber lines. In addition to the Goodrich stainless steel lines for both front and rear, Ford Racing is also tossing in brand new rear pads as well with this setup, which again is a nice little extra. Same exact pad compound as the GT500 fronts, which are included with the Brembo calipers. So basically everything with this kit, guys, is 100% fresh and brand new and ready to rock and roll. The only thing that's missing here with this kit is a brand new set of rear rotors, which you could do on your own for pretty cheap. But now let's talk about some of the other details when running a kit like this from Ford Racing, the first of which is actually pretty important. You can only use this big brake setup from Ford Racing on cars equipped with ABS or anti-lock brakes, but for a majority of you guys watching this at home, shouldn't be an issue. Secondly, guys, when upgrading your brakes to a larger brake kit such as this, wheel fitment will become an issue. Now, personally, I recommend running a 19x9 wheel or larger, such as the Brembo wheel, for instance, an AMR, a Boss style wheel, or obviously a GT500 style wheel. Now, guys have run 18x9 wheels and gotten them to fit with this kit, such as the GT500 wheel, for instance, but overall, I'd personally recommend sticking with a 19-inch wheel or larger just to be on the safe side. And finally, guys, you cannot use any bullet wheels with this kit or the FR500 wheels. On the topic of price, the Ford Racing SVT brake upgrade kit is going to ring in right around $1,000 here, which I think is really awesome, especially when you consider the quality components and the extras that Ford Racing is throwing in. Now compare that to some of your other options here on the site. The Ford Racing SVT kit will be one of your most affordable options compared to those other options, which can range anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. So again, guys, you're getting a ton of bang for your buck with this kit. As for the install, well, like I mentioned earlier in this video, guys, there is a fair amount of work to get this kit installed, and you will have to bleed the brake system as well. So if this is something you don't feel comfortable with, definitely don't be afraid to leave this one up to your local professional shop, as brakes are obviously pretty important. On the other hand, guys, if you prefer to do all of your own work and are handy with a wrench, just leave yourself a few hours in the shop or garage, maybe a half a day to get this one tackled. And again, I'm gonna call it 2 out of 3 wrenches on my overall scale of difficulty. As you might expect, there will be a fair amount of tools needed to complete this install, in addition to a jack and jack stands or a lift, because all 4 wheels and tires will need to be removed in order to gain access to the calipers and rotors, which of course will be removed as well. Now again, guys, since you are doing rear pads with this kit, just make sure you have a caliper tool on hand or something similar to help you spin that piston down and make room for those new pads. Finally, you're gonna wanna make sure you have some nice fresh brake fluid on hand before getting started with this install, and all of your tools needed to help you bleed the brakes themselves. Basically just a wrench and a clear tube if you're doing it with a buddy, or a one-man bleeding tool or vacuum bleeder if you're flying solo with this install. All right, guys, the Ford Racing SVT front brake upgrade is really just gonna be an awesome choice for any S197 GT or V6 owner out there looking to drastically improve the stopping power on his or her ride, maybe add a little bit more bling behind those front wheels, and doing so for a price that is very hard to beat here on the site. So that's my review of the Ford Racing SVT upgrade, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.